Hello, I'm Superintendent of Schools Tim Piwowar, and welcome to the first video in a new four-part series as we prepare for the opening of schools in the fall of 2021. Today's video will focus on positive cases in symptomatic individuals as it relates to COVID-19. As a reminder, COVID-19 symptoms include the list that you see here, with the four most critical symptoms being the first four in bold on this list. Students or staff should remain home if experiencing any of these symptoms, but particularly a fever of 100 degrees or higher, chills or shaking chills, difficulty breathing or shortness of breath, a new loss of taste or smell, muscle aches, or body aches. If someone is confirmed as positive for COVID-19, the duration that they're out is self-isolation for a minimum of 10 days after either the symptom onset or a positive test result if there are no more symptoms. The return to school is on the 11th day, and once they've been without a fever for 24 hours, experienced improvement in other symptoms, or if not meeting those criteria, they've been cleared for a medical professional. It is not necessary to have repeat COVID testing prior to return to school. For symptomatic individuals, again, if it occurs at home, students or staff should remain home if they're symptomatic. But there are times where symptoms may develop at school, and in that case, the individual should seek immediate medical attention from the nurse's office. They may be asked to take a rapid antigen test for COVID, and that can only be done for a student with the parent's consent. We'll talk more about testing consent in video 4 of this series. If that rapid test is negative, but symptoms require the individual to be sent home, the protocols on the next slides apply. If the test is positive, the individual should follow the protocol talked about in the last slide, positive individuals. If the individual is sent home, Protocol C1 applies if testing happens outside of the school. And this protocol applies regardless of vaccination status. The individual needs to remain out of school depending upon when the symptoms resolve, and they may return to school after they've received a negative PCR test result for COVID-19. A medical professional may be able to make an alternative diagnosis, for example, if there's a positive test for strep, in lieu of a PCR test if the individual is not a close contact. The individual also has to have an improvement in symptoms and has to have been fever-free for at least 24 hours without medication. If the individual declines to be tested, regardless of vaccination status, isolation is at least 10 days from the onset of the symptom, and after 10 days, they can return on day 11, assuming they have an improvement in symptoms and have been fever-free for at least 24 hours. This concludes video 1 in our series that we'll be releasing each day. Video 2 tomorrow, we'll talk about actionable close contact.